if you're a brand new realtor, just got licensed, and you're looking to close a lot of deals your first year, this is going to be the series that you're going to want to watch. It's going to be a 5-part series where I go over what a brand new agent should be doing the day they get licensed. In fact, this is actually the second video that I am doing on this topic. And just to preface, I don't really edit these. Editing takes up too much time. So I kind of try to present them as if you were sitting right in front of me. And that's kind of how we're going to have this conversation. The first thing is I have already done a video on this. It's actually the pregame. So what I mean by that is these are the things that you should have done before you got licensed. If you missed the video, go back and watch it. And then if you haven't done any of those things, you're going to want to start there. And then you're going to want to start with what we're going to go over today, which is week 1 activities as a brand new licensed real estate agent. But just to recap that last video, it's basically getting to know your new agent resource center or the agent resource center at whatever brokerage you may be at. You're going to want to make sure that you complete the CRM training that is offered by your broker. For us, it is Chime CRM. So I have a bunch of Chime CRM tutorials that I have made for my agents so that they know how to leverage the tools correctly, because the tool's useless if you don't know how to use it. Emailing me, for you, it would be a team lead, maybe your broker if they offer it, but getting agents set up on RedX, which is a dialer that will allow them to call for FSBOs and expireds. And then the fourth thing here is getting all your paperwork done, your W-9s, whatever brokerage, direct deposit, forms that you need to fill out so you can get paid. You want to make sure those are done and out of the way. And then I always recommend attending meetings before you ever even get licensed, just so you can get an idea of what the vibe and feel is going to be like once you get started, okay? That is the pregame. So that is what I recommend people should be doing before they get licensed. But if you obviously just came across this channel or whatever, or you're just now trying to figure out how to pick up your career, maybe your broker's not really offering a whole lot of guidance, so you're searching this out on your own, start there, then come back, watch week 1, and let's go ahead and get into week 1 activities. So the very first thing is doing any type of online training. So for us, again, it's like the Chime videos, the videos on this is how you fill out a contract, things like that. I don't know what your broker may or may not have. For our brokerage, we have a very basic process of this is how you fill out all the documents. This is how you submit all the documents. This is how you get paid. Again, the CRM training, cold calls, all those things are available to our agents over here at Streetlight Realty. Who knows what's going to be available at your broker's office or with your team. Get with them and ask them what kind of training they have for you to be able to watch during your first week. The second part of that is role play. So I know a lot of people don't like role play, and until I really started making cold calls and becoming successful at it, I didn't really care for role playing either. And the reason for that is most people do role playing incorrectly. They think you have to say the exact words, the exact way that they should be said per whoever. And that's not at all the point of role play. The point of role play is to hear a roadblock and have a general idea of what you're supposed to say. An example of that is when you're calling internet leads, people who have clicked on Google PPC or something like that. A roadblock you're going to hear a lot is going to be something like, oh, no, I just clicked on it. I'm just kind of looking at houses. I am not ready to go look. Don't want to meet with you. You're a realtor. That scares me, right? They don't say that last part, but that's what they're thinking. So you can either say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, and then you just let them go, or you have a general idea of what you're supposed to say, which is de-escalate their fear, right? That's all you're trying to do. It doesn't matter what you say. So for me, I'm going to say something like, oh, okay, so it just sounds like you're window shopping. You don't have to say that. You could say something like, oh, okay, it looks like you're just trying to get an idea for what the market's like. Oh, okay, so you're just trying to get an idea of what the pricing is. Oh, okay, well, Is it because you're thinking about selling your home, so you're just curious what's on the market? I mean, there's a whole bunch of different stuff. All you got to do is ask a question that's not yes or no, and you're good. So role-playing those scenarios helps you get your brain going, so when they say that, you don't have that same fear that they have trying to shut down the conversation. You know how to push through the conversation in a very non-confrontational way. So that's the point of role play. So don't get freaked out by the idea that you're going to have to practice scenarios. You don't necessarily have to do it in a phone call type of dialogue. I would recommend it, but you don't have to. I think I skipped over it on the pregame when I mentioned go to the meetings, but it's also on week 1. You're still reading The One Thing. It's a Gary Keller book. It teaches you about time management and really putting emphasis on what the most important part of your business is. As a brand new real estate agent, the most important part of your business is prospecting, right? You have to find clients. You're not going to stay in the business if you can't sell homes. And if you can't sell homes, you're not going to have paychecks. And if you don't have paychecks, you can't pay your mortgage or your rent or whatever the hell your situation is. So The One Thing helps with that. If you're not a reader, get an audio book, get the Cliff Notes. Who cares? The point is you just got to learn how to do time management and emphasize what's important within your business. And then the other item on your week 1 activities here is compile 25 of 100 SOI. SOI is your sphere of influence. That's friends, families, past coworkers, current coworkers, if you're still maintaining a job, anyone that you have come into contact with or do come into contact with on a somewhat regular basis. That could be your kids' teachers. That could be your dentist. We have a whole list. I'll probably do a separate video just on that portion alone. That is a big roadblock for people. I remember when I got into the business, I was just telling everyone, well, I don't know where I'm going to get my business because I've only got 2 friends and they're also in real estate. So that wasn't going to help me a whole lot, right? And I don't have family, at least not a big family. I had a brother and a sister. My brother lived in Kentucky or something like that at the time. And my sister already owned a house and she had no plans on buying. So my sphere was limited and it was short and I just became a cold caller. But I have since learned that wasn't true. There was a whole bunch of people I knew that I could have put down. So we'll go over that in a separate video. Again, attending weekly meetings. At my brokerage, if you're an individual agent, there are no meetings that you have to attend. If you are on my team, we do have meetings every Monday and every Wednesday. Every Monday, we're kind of going over admin and anything left over from the weekend or the previous week that someone or everyone within the team needs to be caught up on. And then on Wednesdays, we specifically focus on sales-oriented numbers. How many calls have we made? How many appointments have we set? Are we tracking and trending to hit our weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual goals? If you're not doing those things, you're not going to hit your goals. There is a portion of this that I actually got from an old real estate coach of mine. It's, what are they called? Real Estate Business School or Real Estate B School, REBS. I forget, Lars something out of South Carolina, North Carolina, I don't know. Anyway, smart guy. But one of the things that he had was a form. It was called Dominate Your Day. It's very similar to other stuff I've used. It's kind of like a part of EOS, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System, which I use to actually grow my brokerage and my team to make sure we're always pushing forward. But anyway, Dominate Your Day. It's a very simple form. Basically, I've got the boxes. It's your top 6 money-making activities for the day. What are you going to do? Are you going to call expireds? Are you going to call your sphere? Are you going to door knock? Are you going to do this? Or are you going to do that? So there's more than one way to do things, right? So we've got database leads. We've got expireds. We've got FSBOs. We've got follow-ups, your nurtures, people that have already come and been generated into the system and you have had some type of conversation with them. So there's different types of money-making activities. Holding an open house, going to a networking event. So there's a bunch of different things. And then we have a section for action items. That could be, an inspection deadline that needs to be met. So things that need to get done, but you got to remember, still not as important as your top 6 money-making activities, right? You got to be able to make money to be able to do your action items, because if you're not making any money, you're not going to care about action items. And then whatever achievements that you end up with for the day, note them down. So at the end of the week, you'll have 5 sheets of paper that will have clearly labeled everything you've really done that's important, and you can kind of reflect on that. It can be really hard to notice the wins or to see the progress that you're making, so it's nice to be able to see that. All of this information that we use actually ends up into our own internal spreadsheets that tracks our KPIs. In other words, how many phone calls did we make for the week, the day, the month, all that stuff. Because again, super important that that stuff gets addressed. So to dominate your day, it's something you do every morning. I always recommend trying to prepare it in the evening or early in the morning. You don't want to be getting into the office at 8 or 9 and then spending an hour on this, and then you just waste an hour of your day. This should be done before you can legally start prospecting. So dominate your day is done before 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. So track lead generation numbers daily. I was kind of touching on that. We have Excel sheets that we use, and you just fill out this form, how many contacts you made, what source you were calling. So again, did you call database? Did you call Sphere? Did you call expireds, FSBOs? We track all of that. So at the end of the year, we can say Susie can make 100 phone calls towards expireds, and she's going to get 1 client out of that. So we know she converts at 1%. And here's the magical thing about numbers. If 5 of us are calling and 4 of us are converting around 2 to 3%, and we got someone converting at 0.5%, well, we probably know that that one person is probably doing something incorrectly, fudging the numbers or something. There's a disconnect, and we can either help them figure that out, whether it's the motivation to actually do the numbers that they input, or if they were actually doing the numbers, we can help them get better with scripts. We record calls so we can see if there's missed opportunities that they didn't pick up on. Maybe the scripting's fine, maybe the dialogue and conversation's great, but they always forget to maybe ask for the appointment or something. So you're going to find out over the course of these videos that to be successful and to hit the numbers you want to hit, numbers and tracking, incredibly important. You might be kind of like a laissez-faire type of person, pretty laid back, pretty chill, just like to roll with the flow or flow with the, I don't even know what the saying is. But, and that's kind of how I feel. I want to be that person, but I also want to hit my goals. So unfortunately, I have to be structured, and I have to hit the numbers that I'm being told I need to hit. And what tells me that is the data, because we know if we're the coolest thing to ever happen to sales, we can probably still only convert between 3 to 5% if we're converting at a very high level, depending on the lead source. So it's important to know those numbers. Let's see. And then the other thing is turn in lead sheets at the end of the week for review on prospecting progress. And then the last note on here is mastering time blocking to get all this done in 7 days. Now, actually, that's, I can't remember who recommended putting that in. I don't find this to be difficult, because what you're really going to do, you're going to find time to do all this stuff. And if you're one of my agents, you're prospecting day one. You will be on the phones trying to set appointments before you actually know how to fill out a contract with confidence. The reason why you're going to be able to do that at my brokerage is the second you get someone to be your client and get them under contract, if you don't know how to write the contract, you're going to hop in your car and you're going to call me and be like, Jonas, I just got someone who wants to write an offer. I need your help. And we're either going to meet. If it's super late in the evening, we're going to hop into Discord and we are going to fill out that contract together. We are not going to write shitty contracts. That's not what we do here. It just so happens I'm a responsive broker, and we have other people, if I'm unavailable for whatever reason, that are going to be able to jump in and help someone through. So there's always going to be experienced eyes looking at a contract. Part of our processes are, if you are a new agent, after you have written the contract, I am then going to go back through it and review it with you to make sure it was filled out correctly, whether or not I sat there and helped you fill it out. It's always nice when I can, in my own moment of silence, review a contract and you're not asking me a bunch of questions. So there is a 2 times audit sometimes on those. So don't for a second think you can't, start hitting the pavement, get people under contract, produce quality contracts before you've totally understood the contract. Because if you are at the right place and you have the help, it's going to get done. I'm trying to think. So that's really it for a week 1 scenario. And part of this for us, it's kind of included in the online training, but I actually will take brand new agents out and we go and we will walk properties. What I try to do is I try to walk someone through a house built at the turn of the century or older, so 1900s or older. And then I try to do a little bit later, so house built between the 30s and 40s. And then I try to do houses built like 50s, 60s, 70s to a newer build, so I can show a new agent the differences between those eras, if you will. And I kind of lump them into those 3 sections. So that's part of our training if you 100% don't know what you're doing. I don't know of any brokerage that does that. I could be wrong, but I think it's important to actually know how to show a house. With that being said, what I'm going to do over the next couple of days is I'm going to stay focused on this week 1 stuff, and we're going to kind of go over some of the online training so that if it's not available at your brokerage, maybe I can help muster that together through this YouTube channel. And it's something I'll be able to share with agents. Obviously, if you're someone who's going to end up at my brokerage, this will all be stuff you have access to. And then, I'll do a day just on the role playing. I'll go over some of the scripts, some of the things you should know, why I think they're important, and why you should have some type of memorization of that scenario. Again, you don't have to remember it word for word or say the exact same thing. You just got to understand when they say something, what are they really saying, and how should you respond to keep the conversation going. I will do a video directly for the SOI portion. Again, we have a list, so I'm going to break that down and show you how you truly do know people, whether you'd like to think you do or don't. I will probably do a mock-up of the Dominate Your Day so you can see what that would look like. And then I will show you lead tracking and turning in lead sheets and things like that. And then after I kind of simulate a week of being a new agent, at least at my brokerage, then we'll go into week 2 because this is a 5-week onboarding process to get you totally trained up to close 40 to 50 deals your first year. If that's what you want to do, you may not want to close that many, but this is still important stuff to learn. I hope you find this video educational. If you can do me a favor, if this is something you like, you find it useful, I'm going to need you to subscribe. It lets me know. Drop a comment. That's probably even more important than the subscribing. Let me know if there's something you think should be covered in the first week. And I would like to respond, and I'll let you know if I agree or if I think it's useless. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's like, dude, you didn't say anything about making cards, business cards. Everybody needs business cards. Like, fuck, I don't need a business card. Probably shouldn't have said the F word, but that's okay. Because it's my channel. I can say what I want. So yeah, there's going to be things that people think are important and aren't. These, to me, are the things that are truly important and are going to get you ramped up. So if you have any other questions, or if you want me to go over something specific that's not necessarily related to this 5-week onboarding process that I'm going to be going through, please let me know and I'll make sure I do a video on that. Thanks for watching. I'm Jonas Helbert. I'm the broker owner of Streetlight Realty. I will say, if you are looking to get licensed in the state of Ohio, we probably should have a conversation, and I would be more than happy to have that talk with you. I'm based out of Dayton. We are in the Dayton, Springfield, Cincinnati markets, but We are looking to expand, so it doesn't matter what part of Ohio you're in. Let me know. I would like to have that conversation with you. We are decentralized, so we could have weekly meetings. We can review contracts. We can do everything through Discord. And it's like you're right there in the office. I actually have office hours where I'm in Discord and anyone can walk into my office if they need assistance. And then obviously you can always get a hold of me by phone as well. So keep that in mind. If you're getting licensed, state of Ohio, Streetlight Realty, I'm the guy you want to talk to. That was dumb. That was like a Kanye West moment when he was like, I was just trying to be cool. Anyway, have a good day.